All right, so this horsey here, you can see kind of the property around here, see the arena right there. Well, yesterday I wanted to get on him and I tried to ride him through those gates out in that pasture, and he got real hot and real, blown up barrel horse style. You all know the type. So I couldn't ride him out there, but I could ride him kind of right around in here. Could ride him up there to the barn and through the barn and down the driveway there for a little bit. I could ride him out there in the arena, so I rode him around there, just getting a bunch of little things, a lot better, softer in his neck, all that. Well, then I was able to ride out in the pasture with absolutely no problem. So moral of the story is ride where you can't, ride where you can, not where you can't. And you'll find little pieces of imperfection to work on, even if you're riding in the area you can. And when you get those little imperfections fixed, that's what's preventing you from being able to ride where you can't. Here how he's already tense, but I'm trying to just leave it to him. Now see him leave me right there. And I kind of look over and grin, but watch how we just start to bend him around. This isn't the kind of thing to where you want to get into a pulling match or whatever, The advantage of doing like this is it also has him soften as he comes down. See how I just held it there until he was still. Now, a lot of what kind of fixed this horse was, and I had to ride him a couple times for, over an hour to just teach him to turn loose in his back and relax his neck and be able to just release all of that tension that he carried around in his body. So this horse, he's a very accomplished barrel horse, but he had gotten real rigid and tight. Even on a loose rein, walking right around the barn, he would be real tight and just jig all the time and kind of randomly go to trot off or kind of lope run off, not out of fear, just out of, he kind of lost his mellowness. But a lot of work of just doing these bend and stops. Look right here how long his feet move. There, see, and then he finally found me, meaning I sat down, took my legs off, and even bending him there, it took him a while to come down and find the stop right there. Now, notice how after all of this relaxation work, getting his neck and his pole and all that loosened up and supple, notice here the reins are real loose, and he'll walk off with his head in a real natural, relaxed position. When I first got on him a day or two prior to this, even with a completely loose rein, his head would be way up above his withers, and he would have his chin way tucked in. So, from the outside looking in, you might think, oh, look at how nice of a head carriage, but it's what they call a false carriage or a false flexion. He was doing that head carriage out of tension, not out of relaxation. So that's kind of what a lot of what we did to help this horse kind of come back down to being more normalized. Here how when I kind of quit riding him and sit down and take my legs off, see how he just flows right down, and he didn't get real rigid in his neck either. So we really were happy to see him be able to do that downward transition. All right, see, if we totally leave it up to this horse, he'll come around. He'll come right here. Now, ideally, we'd take him all the way over there to the barn, but look, as he gets right here, we're just going to start getting busy with some legs, making him be soft, just kind of making it be a little bit of, we're going to close up on him here. See, make it just be a little difficult and kind of bother him some. And then look, when he kind of goes to leave there, see how we just get real open. We take our legs off, let him be. Now, he had been only making it about 10 feet out here, and then he would turn back. So we're going to get him to where he won't turn back at all, but we got to let him tell us by not picking up the reins. See, his mind's still on the barn there, but at least his feet are not trying to go back to the corner. It's a start. There, see right there's a nice little change. See his mind come off the barn right there? So you can get that going. All right, now with no help at all, he's able to walk up the fence, kind of have his mind off of the barn and not be trying to spin around and go back there to that corner, see? See how his mind's a little bit off? I can use my right leg. There, see that ear come, and then right leg, pick up there, see the ear, watch again, there. There, there, watch the ear, little right there, little rein, little right leg, there's the ear, and there, see, now his brain came back to the inside. All right, watch here in a minute, we're gonna get it where we can point him right at this corner and he won't go into it unless we kind of tell him to. So right here, gonna use some leg, amp it, and ease off, leave him alone, let him leave. Okay, we might have it working here. I'm gonna kind of bring him around here. I'm gonna point him at this corner a little bit, let go of him. There, and he don't want nothing to do with it. Let's try him to this side. Just point him at this corner a little bit and let go of him. There, see, you don't want to head for that trouble. See, they got to be neutrally minded before you can really get anything done that's productive. They got to be open to suggestion. One of the best things you can do on any horse is practice straight lines out of a pen, go somewhere. You will constantly, until they get good at this, you'll constantly feel the shoulder kind of fall into your left or right leg. Right there, the shoulder's kind of falling into my right, so we fixed it. You'll keep your hands, you know, kind of like this with just an inch or two of slack in the reins to where you can always be ready to put his head back in the center. So you need to try to get your horse to where he can be in the middle of you. See, you kind of like ride the triangle is what they call it. A horse being in between your reins and your legs. And like, see him look off to the right there. Sure enough, you know, right there, right rein, I'm sure enough bumping his nose back in, telling him to find the middle of me here. And I want his mind to find the middle of me. And then the shoulders and the ribs and the hips and all that. You see that biggest tree out there on the very end? That's our target, and we've just drawn an imaginary straight line, and we want him to feel straight as an arrow leaving a bow going out towards this tree. We want the shoulders to stay on this imaginary line. We want that imaginary line and our target up there to stay right in between the tips of his ears, and we want the hips to stay directly behind the withers, and we want the ribs to stay perfectly straight. Watch here how I try to not only release when he's soft and giving there, but watch how you try to wait for the mind to be coming around and right there to the inside also. Watch his eyeball. Left leg goes back a little bit, right leg comes forward a little bit, open the front door, let him flow over there. Now we switch. We lift the right rein, right leg comes back, left leg comes forward. Kind of get him back there. There, now open the front door there and let him flow over there through and to the right.
Hey, if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can become a Carson James Insider. All the info is in the link below, completely free. We send you all this awesome stuff. All the details are right here. Go check that out. You are going to absolutely love it. We'll see you later.